Hello guys, this is a short video. This is a 2008 Passat with the 2.0 turbo. It's the CCTA engine. And the issue with this car here is that it has a check engine light coming on, and the stored code is for the turbo boost solenoid, and it's showing shorted to ground. And I wanted to just create a short little video to show you guys where it's at. First of all, you got to pull off the cover and stuff, and the hoses that go to the turbo up here. You got to pull all that out just to make room to get down there, because this part is right down in here. And the best way to show you is to move all the stuff out of the way. The turbo boost solenoid is right here, and it's just below where this air tube here comes down, and it actually attaches to the turbo unit right here. There is this hose, and one down on the bottom. It is very difficult to get out, but it has a couple screws, and I'll go over what size screws they are in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and get it off, and then I'll show it to you a little more detail once it's out. But that is the location, and let me zoom out. It's right back behind the engine in this corner below that large air tube. I don't know what they would call that, so I'm just calling it an air tube. But anyway, I'm going to get it out, and then I'll show it to you in more detail. Okay, something else I wanted to point out about the solenoid is there is, it's kind of hard to see in there, but this hose here comes off of this nipple right there. Check these hoses out, make sure they're not cracked, because leaking vacuum from this solenoid will cause you boost issues. And something else is there's a clip for the electrical connector on there. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get this, but it may be best to come down from the top. The bolts for this piece, it's kind of hard to get to. One of them is right here. It's at an angle. The other one is right here. Okay. I was able to get that one right there loosened with a standard size ratchet, and now I'm using my right hand to reach down there. It's a much better angle, and I'm undoing that by hand now with that tool. And as soon as I get this out, I will go ahead and let you know what size that is. That's an Allen. That's an Allen socket. Okay, so the tool that I'm using for that, let's see if we can get a size on it. Wow, there's no size. But this is a Stanley tool. It's a 87971, but there's no other size indication on it, but it's a small one. All right, so this top hose here goes right up into this fitting right here. I just use a I can't even speak. I just use a standard pair of pliers to loosen that up, and it came right off. So right now, there's this plug to remove, and there's one more line, I don't know if we can see it, right there. And that has to come off as well. Okay, well here is that part. This is the boost solenoid. If this is malfunctioning, you're not going to have any luck getting your boost to work. But that's the issue that I found, and now we're going to have to wait for the one to come in. Luckily, it was Amazon Prime, so I'm going to get it today. I ordered it yesterday, so very quick shipping for Amazon Prime on most items. But that's it. Okay, so... And as far as reinstallation, it's just basically the same as installing, but in reverse order. So I hope this helped you locate it and maybe give you a little advice to get it out. It's a real tight area, so don't be afraid to move stuff out of the way, remove pieces. Okay guys, also what I'm doing with this car while I have it apart is I am going to change or repair this mount right here. This is the thrust mount, and what this does, let me see if I can show you the movement. It's kind of hard, but this, you see that moving in there? This motor mount is shot, and what I've done is I have purchased a repair kit for this. And what it is it's an insert that slides into this here, reinforces the broken mount, and then the nut or the bolt will screw in and hold a cap and hold that new piece in. Otherwise, you would have to remove this entire cross member here and have that pressed out and a new one pressed in, which is a huge job. A lot of work to get that done, but we're going to go ahead and do it the easy way. So I'm going to have to pull that bolt off soon and get it ready. I have it on order. It should be here by the end of this week. And before I wrap it up, I want to show you guys this piece back here. This hose here attaches to, it doesn't attach there. It attaches to a fitting that pops out of this here. When I pulled this apart, this looked like it was just laying here. That's a water port, so I don't know if me messing with things here, I snapped it off, but I'm going to have to replace this piece, which this is going to be difficult as well. But I just wanted to point that out, just in case you're having a leak and you don't know where it's coming from. Check this fitting right here, because if I did break that off, it was pretty easy. Okay, here we go. In order to remove this fitting right here, I'm just pushing this shield back as far as I can all the way around it. Because what that's going to do is that's going to expose the metal clip. Once I pop that clip out, I should be able to work this fitting off, and then I'll be able to get it off the hose. But this thing is full of water, so I've got to drain the water first. That's going to be fun. Here we go. Okay, for one of the pieces I removed, I lost the nut. It fell down into the engine bay somewhere, and I couldn't find it. But I was able to look through my spare nuts, and I found a perfectly threaded piece for this bolt here. It's holding on some rails that I moved out of the way, but my wife always says I'm crazy for holding on to all these little nuts and bolts, but it saved me this time. So anytime you get a kit to work on your car, save the old nuts and bolts, because you may need them. Okay, so this car was not built with thoughts of working on the car yourself, because this hose here has to come off, pop off of the fitting here in order to drain the water. I don't know why they did it that way, but you have to drain it by pulling a hose off, which always makes a mess. It never gets all the way in there. But we're going to go ahead and drain the water. That's the only way that we can do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this hose here for the turbo system in order to allow easier access to that hose. And plus, look what I noticed here. This is not all the way in. So we're going to have to fix that when we reinstall it. Okay, I'm going to get that drain in, and then we'll continue on our fitting removal. Okay, I popped that hose off, and as you can see, it's a mess. It came gushing out down my arm and everything, but most of it went into the pan. But now we'll move upwards and get that fitting off. Okay, so alright guys, I don't know if you can make that out. There you go. But I popped up this little ring here, and now this piece, this fitting should come off here. It might take a little bit of effort to get it off because it's been on here probably since the factory. So we're going to work on getting this off. This is up, so that's the retaining ring. So we're going to go ahead and take off the reservoir cap to help this flow. You'll see water will keep coming out of there, but I'm going to go ahead and plug it up and allow it to drain, because last thing we want is water to gush out of here. We're trying to capture it so that we can reuse it. Okay. Oops. Oh, stop it. Okay, I'm gonna need both hands to get that piece off. Alright, as I was trying to get that off, it just broke. Shows you how brittle it was. And now I got that piece to get off. Now I'll just grab some pliers and start yanking on it, I guess. Okay, so to get the remains of that broken piece, I just used my channel lock pliers and squeezed it on each side to break it up. It was already very brittle, and that makes me concerned about this piece down here. Now, how brittle is this piece too? But I don't know, it's making me very nervous, guys. This is the heater core, by the way. It's made of aluminum, so if you reef on it too much, you'll definitely break some and crack it. Now I have to get this chunk of plastic out of here. Okay, since this upper one was very brittle, I went ahead and removed the lower one too, because this is my daughter's car, and she lives about 1,000 miles away, so I don't want anything cracking and going bad if I could spend 20 bucks and fix it now. So I'm going to go to the store and buy both of these pieces and get that back together and water back in it, so that I'm that much closer to being done. Okay, so for those water ports, here I'm opening up the box. The upper one has that little doodad on it right there. The upper one is a Dorman part number 627-004. And there it is right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off the sticker first, and then I'm going to put this part on the hose on this one, get them all clamped down, and then I'm going to pop them in. But I'm going to do the bottom one first. And the bottom one is also a Dorman part number 627-002. That is for the bottom. And I just want to say, this huge box, that little tiny part. Ridiculous. I'm not a tree hugger, but I do believe in saving trees. Okay, and this is the bottom part, just a straight fitting. Okay, so we throw all those away. Or actually, we're going to recycle those. We're not going to throw them away. Okay, I don't know if you've ever done these, but the nipples that they attach to right here, they're curved, they're tapered inward. So that when you install it, all you have to do is slide them in there, and those pins there spread apart because it's tapered, and then it snaps in and seals up just fine. So you don't have to worry about removing that pin and then popping the pin back on when you install it. So I'm going to get it attached to the hose, and then I'll show you how to insert it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it to where the end that you would pop out to remove it, which is right here, is going to be facing the 10, 11 o'clock direction, which would make it easier to remove if I ever have to. Okay, to install, those clips are already in there, so to install, I'm just going to wiggle it a little bit. Okay, these grooves here had to be lined up, and it just so happened that the clip was over on the side I wanted it on, so that worked out just fine. And I don't know if you heard it or I recorded it, but as I was sliding in there, I heard a little clip because the retainer clip was in all the way, and it just popped in place. So now we're going to go ahead and get the other one installed. Okay, the reason why I install the hoses and clamp them with it unhooked from the heater cord is because you want to be able to move it around, and it's easier to get access to these spring clips and place them where you want to. Once it's on there, it's really hard to get a good bite on these clips. Okay, let's see if I can record this one going on. It's hard to hold the camera and do this at the same time. Let's see if I can position it. Okay, so we've got these two water ports back together, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and get the brand new boost control valve installed so that I can get all this upper stuff fixed, and then I can go underneath and put all the underneath stuff back together so I can get done for the day. I'm hoping to have it all done except for the motor mount I'm planning on doing. That one has to wait because I don't have the part yet. Okay, here we go. Right there are the two hoses. That one and that one over there are the two hoses that have to go back on this solenoid. Okay guys, we got all of the upper parts back in. There's the cover here that goes in there, but I got to change the oil and stuff, so I'm not going to put that in there until I change the oil. I've got water in it. Seems to be holding water just fine. I haven't started it up yet because I want to get the oil changed, and then we'll test it for leaks when it's hot. But we got everything back together and ready to go. So pretty much to wrap this project up, all I got to do is change the oil and install that motor mount. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you for watching Cobra Vids. If you have any comments or suggestions for any anything that I do on my channel, please feel free to send me a comment. If you have any ideas for videos, go ahead and send me those ideas as well. Subscribe, like all my videos, watch them, and subscribe, because you never know when I'm going to have another one coming up. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.